In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how some people we work with have achieved a 30% reply rate to their Instagram outreach while others are struggling to even start a conversation. I'm going to break down exactly what makes sense for your specific situation and how you can track everything to the dot so you know exactly what's working. Now, the first thing you're going to have to understand is the difference between warm and cold outreach. Warm outreach is outreach you do to your followers, commenters, story viewers, story likers, and post likers. These are people who have seen your content, are familiar with you, are already engaging with what you do on Instagram, and you simply need to start a conversation with them. For this, we've seen anywhere between 10 to 30% reply rates when done correctly and tracked correctly. Cold outreach, on the other hand, is outreach to people who have never heard from you. Now, obviously, since these people are not familiar with what you do, you're going to have a much lower reply rate. Anywhere from 2 to 10% is pretty industry standard for what we've seen. And there's specific use cases and times in your journey where you're going to want to focus on warm or cold outreach. So let me walk you through those first. Now, if you already have a big existing audience, you have a lot of followers on Instagram, you post a lot of content with a lot of engagement, you're going to want to focus on warm outreach only. At that point, you're at a level where doing cold outreach just doesn't have the ROI anymore, and you're going to want to focus on warm outreach exclusively. This means messaging all the people who engage with your profile in any way and starting conversations, as well as tracking exactly which source, meaning do followers, commenters, story viewers, story likers, or post likers reply to your messages most. And this obviously means tracking everything which I'm about to show you so that you know whether your followers or your story likers reply to your messages the most. Now, if you have a medium-sized audience and you do have leads that you can do warm outreach to, but it's not a sufficient amount to satisfy your needs, you're going to want to focus on warm outreach first and supplement with cold outreach just to get some additional leads and conversations in there. The thing is, when you're doing cold outreach, you can turn it into semi-warm outreach by having an optimized profile with a lot of content so that when you message people with your cold DM on Instagram, they're going to check your profile, get a little bit familiar with you, and warm up to you automatically. Now, the third case scenario is that you barely have an audience. Maybe you have some warm people, but you're going to run through them very, very quickly. You're still going to want to focus on warm outreach so that you can get warm outreach in. Any warm outreach that's possible, you should be doing, but you're going to want to focus heavily on cold outreach just to get your initial leads. And if you have no audience at all, your only option is to start off with cold outreach while you build up your content and your organic ecosystem on Instagram. Now, if people find you through ads and engage with your content, I would classify that as warm outreach as well. So that's an easy way to growth hack it. So if you don't have an organic audience yet, you can run ads to get more people into the warm outreach bucket and achieve higher reply rates. Now, let's quickly cover cold outreach, and then I'll go into exact tracking and the strategy that we use to achieve 30% reply rates on our warm outreach. Now, when it comes to cold outreach, the number one tool on the market, which we've built ourselves, is AutoIGDM Pro. This is fully cloud-based. You connect your account, set up your campaign, and it just runs in the background so that you don't have to worry about doing any of the volume. Important to note is that this is capped at 50 DMs a day. Any more than that will put your account at risk and risk you getting banned. So for your cold outreach, you can fully automate it and get 2 to 10% reply rates from people who have never heard of you. And in order to reach the higher bracket of this percentage, you are probably going to have to test different approaches, different kinds of leads, and different kinds of messages, and all of the guides inside of AutoIGDM are going to help you do exactly that. Now, let's take a look at some of the numbers that a real client of ours has been able to achieve, and as you can see, they are sitting above the reference range at a 31% reply rate with 6,000 outreaches sent and 2,000 replies received. Now, this is strictly warm outreach, meaning we are focusing on these buckets right here: our followers, commenters, story viewers, story likers, and post likers. In this case specifically, we're focusing on new follower outreach, which is fully automated and tracked on autopilot, story viewers, and story polls, with new followers obviously being the number one source. In this case, new followers get a 30% reply rate, story viewers get a 29% reply rate, and people who vote on polls in the story get a 45% reply rate, which is absolutely out of this world. We also track different variations of the messages and see which get the highest reply rate, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can set that up in a second. The tool I'm using to show you all of these statistics is called the MTracker, and you can sign up for a free trial using the link down below in the description. The tool is made to track all of your Instagram DMs, as the name already says, and you can use it to track your outreach messages, your follow-ups that need to be done, your team's statistics, as well as your team's time involvement, and set up different time frames for follow-ups. Key features Features include outreach logging, where your team can come in and add people that they have messaged, warm leads that they have messaged, along with which reason and which message has been used. And the tool automatically tracks reply rates for you and tells you which message and which outreach reason is the most successful. It also categorizes everyone who ghosts you inside of your Instagram inbox into the follow-up board and shows you how long they've been ghosting you and which people you need to follow up with. The statistics section doesn't only show your outreach statistics, but it also shows your follow-up statistics as well as your follow-up success rate. So in this client's case, he converted 14.5% of the people who initially ghosted him back into a conversation simply by following up and following the tasks that are shown in DM Tracker. Now, the beautiful thing with warm outreach is that not all of it has to be done manually, and it is not against the terms of service as cold outreach is. For instance, when you message new followers, you can fully automate this using ManyChat and track all of the statistics using DM Tracker. I made a full video showing you exactly how to automate messages to new followers and split test different variations to see which gets the most replies, and I'm going to put that video right down below in the description. When somebody comments on one of your posts, you can fully automate the outreach and track everything as well, and it's all Meta approved. The only things that need to be done manually are story viewers, story likers, and post likers, and those people you will need to reach out to manually because there's no official Meta API integration that allows you to do this. If you want to know exactly which use cases to automate for, all you need to do is sign up for a free trial in DM Tracker and book a call with me personally, and I'll sit down with you, show you all specific use cases that make sense for your business and help you implement them in record time. Now, what you're probably wondering is, what messages do I send for cold outreach and what messages do I send for warm outreach? For warm outreach, you're going to want to thank people for a specific action they took, such as following, commenting, etc., and either reward them with free value if that's what you promised them. So for example, when somebody comments on a post, you may be using a comment keyword as a call to action, comment guide, and I'll send you my free guide. So in that case, you're going to want to reward people with the specific guide that they requested. On the other hand, if someone's a new follower and you didn't promise them anything, you can reach out to them and ask an open-ended question to start the conversation, such as, hey, thank you for following. What fitness goals are you working on at the moment? And the beautiful thing is, when you combine warm outreach with DM Tracker, there's no more guessing. Simply come up with 3 different variations for each possible outreach that you want to do, and then you can rely fully on the DM Tracker statistics to show you which message gets the most reply rates and adjust your messages over time. This takes out all of the guesswork that people usually have when it comes to warm outreach, and you simply know what works and what doesn't. For cold outreach, on the other hand, you're always going to want to come in with free value because these people don't know you. They are cold. They don't know what you offer or who you are. This means you're going to want to come in and offer free value in the form of a free training, a free video, a free walkthrough, a free audit of their strategy, anything like that. Inside of Altoa GDM, we have a specific training module on exactly the messages that you need to use to get the highest reply rate possible. And the most important rule here is, if you offer them free value, you're going to want to offer up the free audit, but don't actually send the free audit until they reply to your message. Otherwise, people are going to take the free audit, not reply to your message, and you gave them free value without getting what you actually wanted, which is the reply. So the way that you would want to do it for cold outreach is say, hey, love what you're doing with your content. I wanted to reach out because I actually worked with a business just like yours recently, and I put together a free 5-minute training on how you can optimize X inside of your business. So whatever your free training is about, would you want me to send that over? By asking the question that way, would you want me to send that over? Or would you mind if I sent that over? You're requiring them to reply to your message to unlock the free value. So once they do reply, send over the free value and then follow up a little bit later and ask an open-ended question to start the conversation, similar to warm outreach. That is how you turn a completely cold lead into a semi-warm lead, because they already received something from you for free and they like the value that you provide. I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn directly from me on a call and have my help to implement this system inside of your business completely for free, just sign up for the free trial of DM Tracker using the link down below in the description and book in your free strategy call.